In life, there are constants. The ability to make choices are a constant. Oxygen being necessary for us to breathe is a constant. Gravity acting upon us, at least as it does here on Earth, is also a constant. And the last time that I checked, 2 plus 2 equaling 4 remains a constant. But what is not constant are opportunities. The Oxford Dictionary defines opportunity as a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. Circumstances, happenstance, being at the right place at the right time, or even being at the right place at the wrong time. They all influence our fundamental understanding of opportunity to boil down to be a moment of chance. I'm here today to tell you that that fundamental understanding is fundamentally wrong. If there is ever a flicker of opportunity, I greatly advise you to fan the flames, because just as easily as you can create an inferno, you can be left with the dismal ashes of an opportunity that were smoldered if you wait. Let me tell you all 2 stories regarding some of my personal experiences with opportunity. I went to a performing arts high school back in Philadelphia, and during my freshman year of high school, I had a science teacher tell my class about the CBYX program. This is an exchange program to go abroad to Germany for a year at no cost, and it was for high-achieving high school students with an acceptance rate of around 2 to 3%. I made it my mission to apply to this program, and I did just that during my sophomore year of high school. I spent countless hours and nights perfecting my supplements, writing cover letters to my potential host families, and even had a multi-round interview panel that consisted of both a team evaluation and an individual evaluation of me at a local program center. When I received that finalist phone call in March of 2018, I was ecstatic. I was well on my way to opening a new door that would yield yet another new adventure. I had around 2 months to come to a decision regarding the CBYX program. And my parents and I, we tried to compile answers to some of the questions as large as, well, where might I be in Germany? And some questions as small as, well, how do you get an SD card and a phone for an international experience? And while all of this was unfolding, I was practicing my violin day in and day out, preparing to audition for the All-City Fellowship Program. This is a program where 12 high school students in the city of Philadelphia are selected to receive weekly lessons, mentorship, and coaching from members of the Philadelphia Orchestra. This audition was slated to happen 3 weeks after I needed to give my decision regarding the CBYX program. As the days between March and May flew by, I ultimately declined the opportunity to go to Germany with the CBYX program, and I focused all of my efforts into pursuing the All-City Fellowship Program. And to those wondering how that story ends, I auditioned and was accepted into the fellowship, and I studied with a member of the Philadelphia Orchestra during both my junior and senior years of high school. Now, as promised, I do have a second story for you all. Let's go back to high school again, this time during senior year. I was involved in just about every activity I could fit into my schedule. I'm talking about those weekly violin lessons, 3 different youth orchestras, captain of my cross-country team, training for and running marathons, a research externship, and a bunch of AP classes. To say I was busy would have been an understatement, but those around me, they saw that I was a part of so much, and they wanted to know how I did it all. So originally, I'd have these individual conversations with people until in January of 2020, I was on a phone call with an old friend from middle school. We were catching up, and she casually said to me, "Hey, Adam, you should charge people for this information. You're going to business school, right? Be business-minded." Now, maybe a great way to have some additional pocket change as a student, I really wrestled with this dichotomy. I wanted to uplift my community in a way that was beneficial to them without taking from them. After having this conversation, though, I really got to thinking, was there actually a more effective way to offer the students in my community the resources that they need? It would be virtually impossible to have a one-on-one conversation with each and every person who grew curious to my procedural undertakings. I mean, that's basic time management, am I right? However, after doing some light market research, it turns out that easily digestible books were a fantastic way to offer the students in my community the resources that they needed. So I got to work, and after 7 drafts and revisions, 10 editors, 8 test readers, and countless hours and nights studying and understanding the Amazon KDP platform, I self-published my first book called A Student's Guide to Time Management. So now you're probably all wondering, why did I tell you these stories? Well, these experiences that I have had, they can fit into a framework that we can use throughout the rest of our lives. There are going to be opportunities that come across your inbox and you simply disregard them. Then there are the opportunities that come knocking and you just have to open that door and see what's on the other side. The last one, however, is a bit more unconventional. Those are the opportunities that do not just come to you. Those are the opportunities that you need to take the iron and forge for yourself. To contextualize this, let's use my experiences and exemplify them in this way. Why might you decide not to consider an opportunity? Well, maybe there are too many unknowns. When I was deciding if I would go to Germany with the CBWAX program, I didn't know where I would be placed. I could have been in a large city, maybe Frankfurt, maybe Munich, but I also could have been in a much more rural region of the country, which was a lifestyle completely unbeknownst to me. And maybe a second reason you decide not to pursue an opportunity is because you're going to encounter more opportunities like this one. I knew that college was a few short years away, and study abroad programs were super abundant. I also knew that I'd be going during my junior year of high school, and I would need to be taking an SAT and ACT test, and testing centers were far and few in between. This was not something that I was willing to take, so let's call this opportunity abundance. Maybe a third reason that you decide to disregard an opportunity is that you don't believe that this is the right fit for you. I always wanted to learn a second language, but at that time, I wanted to be an even greater musician. I wasn't sure that I'd be able to balance my coursework and have a truly defining, culturally immersive experience had I gone to Germany. Let's look at why you may pursue an opportunity. Well, one of the reasons that we do anything in this life is that you have a burning, immense passion for what is in front of you. I decided to be a little introspective, and I looked at my life when I was trying to pursue the All City Fellowship program. And I noticed that I'd have maybe an hour to an hour and 10 commute each way from high school to my home, right? And while I was commuting, regardless of if I was scrolling through my phone, reading an article, or just reading a book, I was always listening to classical music. These were pieces and repertoire that I either really wanted to learn or I was simply mesmerized by. All I knew is that the passion I had for this opportunity, it was insanely high. Maybe a second reason you decide to pursue an opportunity is that you believe it is the right time for you. At that time in my life, I wanted to audition for youth orchestras. I wanted to attend music camps. I wanted to learn difficult music. The All City Fellowship program was the only way that I was going to be able to do that, and it was now or never. Had I gone to Germany, I would have come back a month too late to audition for my senior year of high school. And maybe the third reason that you decide to pursue an opportunity is that you believe you can become the best version of yourself. I knew that 2 years to study with a violinist of this caliber, it would enhance all aspects of my musicianship. And that is something I truly wanted and have since benefited from greatly. So let's look at the more unconventional one. Why might you create an opportunity for yourself? Maybe one of the reasons that you are looking to create an opportunity for yourself is that you are looking to distinguish yourself. The bulk of my writing process began in peak COVID in 2020. I wanted to stay productive and have something to show from all that time off from school that we had. I even sacrificed my GPA my freshman year because I believe this opportunity I was creating for myself, it would allow me to show that I can create an impact and create success, even if the odds were seemingly stacked against me or there was no time. Maybe a second reason you decide to create an opportunity for yourself is that you want to take it to the next level. When I told people that I was going to write a book, some people, they laughed at me, or they said, I don't think you're credible enough to be an author. You sure you want to do that? But I had these conversations. The demand was there, right? I wanted to take this to the next level, and I thought that I could do that by publishing my book. Maybe a third reason that you create an opportunity for yourself is that you are a risk taker. And you're willing to learn regardless if you succeed or fail. I did not think that I could be an author. In my mind, authors were generally much older, much wiser, maybe even further along in their career. But I knew that I had experiences that I could share that could uplift my community. And that was a risk that I was willing to take. And maybe a fourth reason, and in my opinion is the most important reason why you may create an opportunity for yourself, is that by doing this thing, by creating this opportunity, you are able to define significance. You make importance in it. There are opportunities in this life that by doing them, they define to you the significance of your experiences. In my book, there are 24 chapters that I call tips. And I wholeheartedly know that all of those are not going to work for everyone. My goal has and will always be for at least one tip to resonate with each of my readers. As long as my reader walks away knowing one more thing that they did not previously hold, I will have done my job as an author, and that, to me, is life-changing. So no matter what you choose to disregard or to take or to create an opportunity for yourself, formulating your thoughts in this way and objectively choosing what's best for you is how you can create your success stories. The hardest part of dealing with any sort of opportunity is coming to a decision. If you are able to validate your opportunities, you will be able to do whatever you put your mind, your time, and your talents to. And that is because if you do not intentionally validate your opportunities, you will unintentionally invalidate your opportunities. I'm going to say that one more time. If you do not intentionally validate your opportunities, you will unintentionally invalidate your opportunities. The framework that we have talked about here today is a starting point for you all. It is by no means complete, and that is because we all experience life differently, and there will never be a one-size-fits-all criteria. Our journeys in this life, they rarely ever go according to plan, and if that has been the case for you, please call me up after this because that is incredible. But what we can do is meet these expectations that we have with a realistic sense of self. And when we inevitably think that we must either accept or reject a specific opportunity, simply remember that you can always create your own opportunity and create the platform for yourself that you have always wanted. I want to say thank you for allowing me to share my idea here with you today. And it is my hope that our time here together can become an opportunity for you all in whatever capacity that may be, as you will all be able to know and identify the vast expanse of space where opportunity lies. Thank you.